Hello everyone, we're from Group 3 and we're gonna presentate about the business system and international trade. Before that, let me introduce our group member. The first one is Mohammad Yuki Fairuuz with last digit of NPM 071 and Muhammad Iqbal with the last digit of NPM 132 and the last one is Salsabila with the last digit of NPM is 163. Globalization and business system. Globalization has rapidly interconnected nations through the free flow of goods, service, capital, and knowledge. While promoting economic growth, globalization also presents challenges such as job displacement, loss of industries, and accusation of unethical practice by business. The ethical debate surrounding globalization revolves around whether government should allow unrestricted free trade or impose regulation to protect citizens. Proponents of restriction argue that free market can lead to unfair competition, environmental damage, and exploitation of labor, while opponents assert that government intervention violates freedom and property rights, resulting in overall negative consequences. Economic system. Economic systems serve to produce and distribute goods and services through tradition, command, and market, with varying degrees of government intervention. Debate over the balance between government regulation and market freedom have persisted for centuries, shaping ideologies and influencing economic policies. Key arguments center on moral right, utilitarianism principle, and justice consideration, as advocated by influential thinkers such as Locke, Smith, Ricardo, and Marx. Understanding and critiquing these ideologies are essential for addressing contemporary economic challenges and shaping its effective policy response. Free Market and Right by John Locke. John Locke's philosophy highlights the inherent right of individuals, notably the freedom of liberty and property, which he deemed essential and inherent. In Locke's view, in hypothetical nature state, individuals possess complete autonomy to act and own property, guided by universal moral principles derived from reason. However, Locke recognized the potential risk in such a state, where individuals might violate upon each other's rights. Hence, he advocates for the establishment of governing authority to safeguard this natural right, with jurisdiction limited to protecting citizens from harm and preserving their liberties and property. Locke's principles lay the groundwork for justifying minimal government intervention in market, emphasizing the paramount importance of upholding individual liberties and property rights within a framework of mutual consent and protection.
In this slide, we will discuss about free markets and utility by Adam Smith. Adam Smith argues that free markets combined with private property rights generate maximum societal benefits. In this setup, buyers seek goods at the lowest prices, motivating businesses to produce efficiently and cater to consumer demands. And Smith's concept of the invisible hand suggests that individual pursuit of self-interest inadvertently contributes to the public welfare by fostering competition and resource conservation. Competition among sellers drives down prices, encourages innovation, and ensures alignment with consumer preferences. According to Smith, government intervention in market is unnecessary and counterproductive, as it disrupts the natural balance of supply and demand, leading to inefficiencies and distortions in resource allocation. Okay, for this one, we will discuss about the free trade and utility by David Ricardo. Ricardo's argument for comparative advantage suggests that a world consisting of only two countries, England and Portugal, has an absolute advantage in producing wine and clothes due to its cheaper production. After specializing in trading, both countries have more of both products than they did without specialization or trade. This specialization increases the total output of goods produced, and through trade, all countries can share in this added bounty. Ricardo's argument has been hailed as the single most important and meaningful economic discovery ever made, and is at the heart of significant economic arguments in favor of globalization and free trade. While arguments politicians and economists make in favor of these policies come down to Ricardo's point, globalization is good because specialization and free trade boost total economic output and everyone can share in this increased output. The next one is criticisms of Ricardo. Ricardo's utilitarian argument is generally accepted by economists, but its practical application in the real world is questioned. Ricardo's assumptions, such as the limited production of goods and the constant production costs, are not applicable in today's world. Multinational companies can easily move their capital between countries and production costs do not decline with technological advancements. And workers can easily move between industries without cost, but when a company closes down due to competition, workers are laid off, suffer heavy costs, and need retraining, and often cannot find comparable jobs. And these factors are the main reasons why the United States workers and their unions reject key aspects of globalization and free trade. Alright, for this one we have the Karl Marx and Justice, a critic of free markets and free trade. Karl Marx criticized free markets and free trade, arguing that capitalism creates alienation among workers, causing them to lose control of their lives and satisfy external needs. He argued that the position of workers in capitalist societies was inevitable due to historical and economic forces. Marx argued that every society has two main components, an economic structure and a social superstructure. And Marx argued that the emancipation of workers would continue as long as capitalism remained the dominant economic system in modern societies. And this emancipation is caused by increased concentration of ownership, periodic economic downturns, rising employment, and declining wages. And factors leading to emancipation include the concentration of economic power and wealth in fewer hands, cycles of economic downturns, and competition leading to businesses to reduce wages and replace workers with cheaper machines, and resulting in rising unemployment.
Critics' views on Karl Marx criticism. Criticism of Karl Marx include the proposition that principles of justice are hard to define and that justice requires free markets. Some believe that the benefits of private property and free markets are more important than equality, while others see free markets as able to encourage community instead of causing alienation. Still, others argue that emancipation of workers has not occurred. Karl Marx and Justice, a critique of free markets and free trade. Mixed economy. Mixed economy combines government regulation, partially free markets, and limited property rights. Government transfer private income to address inequality, protect workers from exploitation, regulate monopolies, ensure full employment, and police firm for socially harmful behavior. Property system and new technologies. Debates exist on the balance between Lucan and socialist property system. New forms of intellectual property created by modern technologies like genetic engineering and information technologies are continuous. Intellectual property is non-exclusive, allowing simultaneous use by multiple individuals. Digital programs or images can be copied, used, or consumed by millions without limiting the original copy use. The end of Marxism. The end of communism in former communist nations, like the Soviet Union, led to the adoption of a free market economy. The breakup of the Soviet Union in 1991 influenced socialist and capitalist worldviews, with new nations integrating private property and free markets. Francis Fukuyama argued that capitalism is the best economic system, but the debate now is over the best combination of government regulation, private property rights, and free markets, rather than whether a pure market system is better or worse than a pure command system. Free Markets and Utility by Adam Smith. Adam Smith argues that free markets, combined with private property rights, generate maximum societal benefits. In this setup, buyers seek goods at the lowest prices, motivating business to produce efficiently and cater to consumer demands. Smith's concept of the invisible hand suggests that individual pursuit of self-interest inadvertently contributes to the public welfare by fostering competition and resource conservation. Competition among sellers drives down prices, encourages innovation, and ensures alignment with consumer preference. According to Smith, government intervention in markets is unnecessary and counterproductive as it disrupts the natural balance of supply and demand, leading to inefficiencies and distortions in resource allocations. Study case. The case is about the development and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines by Pfizer and BioNTech, as well as the ethical dilemmas that arise around price and access. Although highly effective vaccines have been developed in a short period of time, the exclusive ownership of patents by these pharmaceutical companies poses challenges for countries with economic limitations. The high prices set by these companies impede equitable access to vaccines, amplifying tensions between the profit motive and global health equity in pharmaceutical practices. The relation between the study case and the theory. First, theory of private property by Luke. Pfizer and BioNTech have exclusive rights to the COVID-19 vaccine based on their substantial investment in research and development. According to Lucky's theory, they are entitled to economic benefits from the property they produce through their hard work. Second, the utilitarianism. This policy of high-price vaccines invite criticism for the perspective of utilitarianism. Uneven distribution of such vaccines could result in more suffering and death in countries that cannot afford high-priced vaccines. In this regard, the actions of these pharmaceutical companies can be considered as not maximizing overall social welfare. Well, guys, that's the end of our presentations. Thank you so much for your attention and see you next time.